We are thinking about search ads, advertisements sold at the side of search pages, and how to charge for them. Consider the ad space as a sequence of slots, where each slot has a different number of expected clicks, where higher slots closer to the top of the screen are better, expect more clicks. Advertisers have values for each click. Different advertisers possibly different value for getting a click to the page. So putting this together, if I put an advertiser to a particular slot, then this advertiser collects a total value for the slot. So for example, advertiser D on the second slot in this example has value 7 for each click and collects 8 clicks on slot 2, which gives him a total value of 8 times 7 is $56 for the slots. So this turned our little example of selling advertising slots for advertisers into a matching market, where we usually express the value for each advertiser or each buyer for everything they might buy into a table. So we can do that. And we can put up a table of different advertisers and different slots. In fact, it will be a little easier to see what we're doing if we actually order the advertisers by their value, putting the high-valued advertisers on the top of the table. So let me do that and put advertiser C on top, who has the highest value, 8. And in this ordering, then advertiser D's value for slot 2 goes in the particular position in this table, expressing this value. And we can similarly fill in all the other positions in the table, taking the value for each click and the number of clicks the advertisers gets on a slot and multiply them. So the advertiser C on top slot gets a total value of 80, which came from 10 clicks, $8 each click. So this is our table of values. Now, once we have the table of values, we might want to think about what's the best way, the highest total value way of assigning advertisers to slots, and we can figure it out from this table of putting advertiser C on top on slot 1, advertiser D on slot 2, and so on down the line. It's interesting to notice that what we did is put the highest values advertising in the highest slot, the second advertiser in the second slot, and so on down the line. That is, we ordered the advertisers by their value. And in fact, this is not surprising. Different slots have different number of clicks, and to get the highest total value, we want to give as many clicks as possible to the advertiser that has the highest value for the click. Now, another thing that we used to have with matching markets is market clearing prices. So we could take our table of values and start running our algorithm for finding market clearing prices that would give us a price for every one of these slots. The values in this example are rather high, going as high as 80. So running our market clearing algorithm is going to take a while to run. So instead of running the algorithm, I worked out some market clearing prices in the background. And let me show you one set of market clearing prices. We're going to maybe spend time to verify that indeed this worked out. These are correct market clearing prices. And just checking is much faster than running the algorithm that we learned. So to check this, what I have to do is find out what the net values are. That is, net values for each of these slots and advertisers. And I just did this. So for example, advertiser C had value 80 for the top slot. The top slot now cost 55. So his net value is 80 minus 55. That's 25. And I did this for every other slot and every other advertiser. And indeed, the matching we had, ordering advertisers by slots, does work out to be the correct matching here. Every advertiser gets his favorite slot. Favorite slot. So the top advertiser's highest net value is now 25, and that's for slot 1. The second advertiser D has its highest net value is 16, and that's for slot 2. Advertiser A has a highest net value of 9, and that's for slot 3. And advertiser B has a highest value, net value of 1, which is for slot 4, and in fact his net value is negative on every other slot. market clearing prices were nice in the or natural in the context of selling items. In the context of slots, they're a little weird because slots, remember, are sold by click. The advertisers pays every time they clicked on and not when they get assigned to a slot. So let me actually go and translate these market clearing prices into click prices. So take the value of 55 for 10 clicks that the first slot has, and that turns into $5.50 for every click. And similarly, every one of the other prices I went and translated into per click prices. So $40 for 8 clicks, that means $5 for each click. One interesting thing to note here is that these per click prices are decreasing. That is, higher slots have higher per click prices. In fact, this is not surprising. It naturally has to be this way. If a slot is simultaneously giving you more click and is cheaper per click, every advertiser would prefer it. What prices had to do is create trade-offs. The way prices are decreasing on slots, we did indeed create trade-offs. The higher slot is better because it has more clicks, but it's worse because each click costs more. This trade-off then allowed us to have different advertisers prefer different slots and create what we needed, a market clearing price where everyone gets their favorite item.